We need a one of those like videos that explains what our channel is.
Oh, we don't know what our channel
I
is.
know. That's what I wanted to do. Adam, tell them what our channel is.
Our channel is a special part of the internet where you can learn about beards, mustaches, video games. Oh, what happened? I can't believe you covered mustache.
Yeah. It wasn't looking good.
Why?
It was too poofy.
Poofy?
Yeah. I thought it looked good straight on.
Uh-huh.
I did not think it looked good in profile. I kept seeing it in profile and I was like, that does not look good.
Mustaches hardly do look. People hardly look good in profile. You think I like to look at myself from the side? Mm-mm.
Oh, you look good from the side.
I appreciate the compliment, but let's not kid ourselves.
Are you saying my opinion is invalid in this situation?
Yeah.
That's cool.
When it comes to how I look, my opinion is the most real one.
Okay.
There was a couple comments on one of our TikTok videos that said you were attractive, though. Did you see those?
I did see those.
How did they make you feel better about yourself?
No.
Why not?
That's weird.
Is it weird? It is a little weird.
It was
right?
a little uncomfortable, yeah.
You think this is how girls feel in their videos?
There was one guy that was like, look at those two handsome dudes. I was like, okay.
I'm flattered.
Okay.
You know,
maybe I should be.
You should be flattered. But it is also, we're being objectified, and this is probably how women feel all the time on the internet. And, I want you to be here not for my tits. I want you to be here for my personality.
Yeah. We do have tits.
That's why I said it.
Yeah. But I don't understand the full scope of it. I would need to be objectified like all day, every day for
No,
for years.
it was just a taste.
No, to understand.
We got 3 comments, basically.
Right.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
Probably more comments than I've gotten in my entire life, like in person. No one's ever been like, you're attractive, other than my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird, right?
It is weird. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, take the good with the bad. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it might be a little uncomfortable.
I didn't think it was bad. It was a little weird.
Because we're not used to it.
Right.
But it's pretty flattering. Well, Hudson, I have things to talk about later in the episode that involve video games.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about before we get to that? Also, I do have a book. I've started it. I'm committed, even though I'm not sure I completely understand it. I forgot to write the name down.
Okay.
Let's just. It's called Blindsight. Blindsight. It's a sci-fi horror book. I wanted to read this because you like sci-fi. I like horror. Maybe we'll bridge the gap. It's Blindsight. I don't really know what it's about yet.
How far into it are you?
About an hour. It's about 11 hours in the audiobook. Essentially, it's kind of like a cliche start, even though I haven't read many sci-fis, where they're on this, aliens have come to Earth. They're like, why are these aliens here? And then the aliens pieced out. And they're like, what the fuck?
Interesting.
And they're going after to see what the aliens are doing. And then they come across this big, humongous object. And they're like, what is this object? And, but then also they mention the word vampire a lot in regards to themselves. They're like, we resurrected vampires. But I don't know if they're just like they talk a lot about cybernetic or like biological alterations and modifications.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if like they're calling people vampires that just have certain augmentations or if they're actual vampires.
Okay, but they're using the word vampires and they haven't explained it at all.
They have a little bit, but I might not have heard everything because maybe I was a little distracted. But I try to go back and listen. And that's why some of this is bouncing off. That's why I need you to start reading it so you can confirm to me.
Sure.
Anyways, that's the book.
Okay.
We'll cover it. We'll come back to it, and we'll talk about it in 4 weeks for sure. But we'll keep reminding people to read it. If
that sounds good.
But yeah, that's the book. Blindsight. One word. We're doing it.
All right.
Okay. All right. What do you got?
Let me see.
This little game book.
So this story is also going to provide us with our nice clickbait title.
Oh, great.
Okay, so my bed was wet.
Oh no, bro.
No, but not in that way.
In the other way.
Wait, what way are you saying?
Nocturnal emissions.
No, not those ways. Okay, I woke up This was 2 days ago. And underneath my head pillow, it was damp.
That's not good, dude. I don't know how this happened. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know how this happened. My pillow wasn't damp.
Oh, I'm sorry. You really still don't know?
Yeah, I have no idea.
How wet are we talking?
Damp enough that I immediately noticed it when I woke up.
So run me through exactly from start to finish this whole thing. I won't interrupt you.
Okay. I woke up, and every time I wake up is the worst thing that's ever happened to me because I hate waking up. So I come to terms with my existence and the fact that I have to get out of bed.
You're alive.
And then I'm still alive. And when the shock of still being alive finally wore off, I sit up and I put my hand down and I notice underneath my head pillow, it's damp.
You say head pillow. Is there other pillows too?
Yeah, I have like an arm pillow.
Me too. And a knee pillow?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I like pillows.
Me too.
It's comfortable.
It's the best.
Leslie makes fun of me a lot for that.
Grace, she will. Sometimes my pillows go astray, and she'll throw them off the bed, and then I wake up. I'm like, "Where's my knee pillow? I can't sleep without it." And then I have to go searching for my knee pillow. Anyways,
it's comfortable having that many pillows. I don't know what to say. So yeah, it was damp underneath my pillow, and I checked I like lifted up the pillow, and I was like, okay, it's not really like it was vaguely damp, as if it just incidentally damp because it had come in contact with the dampness of the bed.
So the bed is more damp than the pillow.
Yes.
That's the plot thickens even more.
So
what's your theory?
I mean, the only reasonable explanation is night sweats.
But you wouldn't be sleeping, and the rest of your bed not wet.
No. Everything else normal.
What is your drool status at night?
Certainly not enough to soak through a pillow.
No. What if you had somehow shifted at night, moved the pillow so it's like kind of here, and you're just drooling straight down onto the bed?
It was like this much wet.
That's a lot of wet.
There's no way that I drooled that much.
Do you think maybe you had shifted in the night and then Hilo peed? Did it smell bad?
No, it didn't smell bad.
Did you wash your sheets after?
Yes. Yeah, because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And the somewhat reasonable explanation is night sweats, because I don't, what else could it possibly have been? Which, if that's the case, I probably do need to talk to doctors. I don't think night sweats are good.
Could be a side effect of a medicine.
Yeah, but I haven't taken any new medicines.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm leaning toward is ghost.
Ghost pee-pee?
I don't know. Ghost something.
I mean,
I do not believe in ghosts, but I'm beginning to think that something weird is going on.
I like the idea that Leslie lifted up your pillow and poured some liquid.
She was gone.
She was gone?
Yeah.
That makes it even scarier.
Yes.
Dude, do you think you have someone frogging you?
What is that?
That is a term I've recently learned and wanted to use. It's for when people are staying in your house without your knowledge.
Leslie thinks there's a guy living in the attic.
Okay, you should really explore this.
I did. I looked in the attic.
You gotta be more.
But it's all fiberglass up there. You don't really want to explore.
It's a fear I have too.
Yeah.
It's a real scare. I got a huge ass attic. It spans the entire T of this house, and then it has like a dip where I couldn't look back there. It's too scary.
I mean, ours is pretty big, and there's places I can't see because when we first moved in there, we had several things that we thought we had go missing. But it was only mushrooms.
What do you think frogs want to do?
No other. That's a good point.
Dude.
It's weird. It is weird.
Okay. You need to set up a game cam and hide it.
That's a good idea.
I mean, you don't have, it doesn't have to be a game cam unless you're going to hunt them.
Idea.
But if it's a game cam, then you can hunt them.
Hunt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's for game. You should really do. It scares me.
It scares me too.
Do you have a gun?
Yeah, but I don't really know how to use it.
Pull the trigger. Point it at them first. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is.
Leslie can shoot. I can't really shoot.
Any other instances that made you think that there's someone hiding in your house?
Not really. You know, Hilo's being a little weird sometimes. Sometimes, but he's not looking like up. He'll sometimes like this happened actually last night. I was laying on my couch upstairs, and he was like asleep, and he just picked his head up and looked at one corner of the room, like full attention, and he just went for about a minute. Then he put his head back down. Is that a ghost?
I think I mean, it could be a ghost. Are there any other ghost specific things that make you think it's a ghost?
No, but I don't know what ghosts do because I don't think they're real.
Well, they pee under your pillow. If it's a person going into your bedroom while you're asleep and pouring stuff under your pillow, you have a psychopath on your hands. If it's a ghost doing that, I don't know what to say. It's maybe even scarier.
If you were in my shoes, which one would you prefer?
Definitely a ghost. I have a couple books that I know how to get rid of ghosts. Somewhere on this thing I could find out. With people, it's a whole thing. Because then they have squatters' rights.
It's a lot easier to get rid of people than a ghost.
I don't think so. Hey, Grace.
I mean,
she's not listening.
To get rid of I don't have to ask a guy in my house to leave.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Squatters' rights.
No. If it's a guy, if it's a person I don't know is there, you can just shoot them.
I think there is weird legalities around squatters' rights. But yeah, if he's not in court to say, hey, I've been here for 30 days, he shot me, then yeah.
I mean, and that's what I would do if I saw somebody.
Ghosts,
in my house.
You just have to fulfill their dying needs. And
you don't know that for sure.
Help them move on. Yeah. Well, we're not talking demons.
Yeah, we don't know that for sure about ghosts.
I would be more comfortable with a ghost. There'd be benefits to a ghost. It would be that you know that ghosts exist.
That would the existence of a ghost that I know is provably a ghost would raise so many more questions in my head that would send me down like an existential spiral.
So recently, my wife, and I'm going to make sure I can tell this story.
Sure.
But Grace went to an event, and it was like a several day long event, a LARP event, where they would stay at Sherwood. It was at Sherwood during the off season.
Mm-hmm.
And one night she woke up and there was a dude standing in her room, standing over her. And she was in a room with a couple other people because it was kind of like a bunk situation where there wasn't like a lot of room, but her and two of her friends got to stay in the same room. He was standing over her somewhat close, and she was so freaked out. She thought it was like a drunk guy that had stumbled in there, and she got up and like turned around, and he just faded into nothingness, and he wasn't there anymore. I know you're looking at me with the most skeptical eyes. She was scared.
Sure.
She saw a ghost when she was a kid. That was the only other time she's seen a ghost. And so when you're a kid, you're like, can I trust my memory? Whatever. She's still a little bit feeling that way. And then next day they're going about their business. And at some point she brings it up to her friend, and he was like, I saw the same thing. And I didn't tell you because I thought it was my own, my own head screwing with me. So like he saw it too. So now you have a situation where I know both of these people. Grace, I trust implicitly with my life.
Sure.
And the other guy is a very good friend. I can't say that I trust him as much because I don't know him as well, but I trust him a lot. And so for them both to have said that they saw this exact same thing when it happened made me be like, holy shit, dude. And I know you're sitting there like, the memory's fallible. I get it. I didn't see it, so I can't really say, but it is crazy.
No, it absolutely is. It is weird. It's weird. Okay. Fuck. I'm blanking on the name of this phenomenon. Sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it's been reported that people see a lot of different people see a very similar sight when they
Yeah,
have sleep
shadow people.
paralysis, or like an old witch.
Mm.
Um,
By the way, talking about sleep paralysis, I want to tell you, it gives me a little bit of chills.
oh, okay.
We could talk about it, but I am scared to talk about it because I'm afraid to like invoke it.
I've had sleep paralysis once.
Okay.
It was really scary.
Tell me about it.
This was when I was in college. Okay, and at the time I was a Christian, so I thought it was something spiritual, which
could have been.
I don't think it was. But anyway, I woke up in my dorm. Well, I woke up, but I couldn't open my eyes, and I couldn't move. All I could do was hear, and I heard the sink running in my bathroom sink, and it was just running. And then I heard footsteps coming toward me, and then I heard somebody saying, "I've been in your head all day."
Dude.
And I was freaking out. And then I was like straining and fighting to try to move. And then I jerked up, right, and there was nothing there.
So how long would you say you were locked?
5 minutes, maybe.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
To be fighting against that fear.
Yeah, it was really scary.
But after that experience, didn't make you feel like that. That was something. It just made you feel like that's a living nightmare, a waking nightmare that people have.
Well, I don't think I was. I don't think you are awake. I think that's what sleep paralysis is. Is you're not really totally awake. Your brain is in sort of a half-booted state where you're sort of like lucid dreaming, but your consciousness sort of started up, but then it's like a false start.
Why do you think that sleep paralysis always skews towards the nightmarish?
I don't know. Maybe that's just because we culturally expect to see. I mean,
I'm sure there are people that have sleep paralysis that have never heard of sleep paralysis, though, and it's still the same thing.
well, but when you look at the type of supernatural events that people of different cultures experience, it invariably tends to be skewed towards what those cultures' supernatural stories are. Whereas like ours tends to be sort of demonic, like darker, like rooted in
I think
Western folklore.
I think the shadow people thing, though, that is like pretty universal.
I would have to look that up.
A lot of
That would be
cultures see a shadowy figure, and I don't know that I've heard of the old lady thing, but I believe you. But I also know that like sleep paralysis is very commonly associated with a shadow figure. It's fucking terrifying.
It's super scary.
Cats are fighting.
Yeah.
Cool cats. But yeah, so back to ghosts. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It would freak me out too. It would change my whole worldview. I don't know how my Grace isn't like a completely different person because she experienced that,
Yeah.
and that's
And I believe the people that experience those things. It's not me doubting their experience of it. It's just the doubting of what that actually is.
But the fact that there was 2 people witnessing this event to me is like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, one person is fallible for sure, but 2 seeing the same thing to me is like, oh my God. I don't know how, I don't know what else there's to say about it other than like, I believe her. I just haven't seen it.
I do feel like if ghosts were real, somebody would have proved it by now.
Yeah.
I mean, the centuries of time people have put forth, the effort people have put forth to prove those things is real. To record any shred of evidence about that.
The problem is like, especially over the last 20 years, technology is improving so greatly that like you might have a better chance of capturing them, but there's so much technology to be able to fake something like that no one's going to believe you. And how do you get through the static of like, this is bullshit? How do you prove something is real even if you have it on video? If you showed me a video, I'd be like, I found this ghost. I don't know if I believe it.
Well, isn't there ways like digital forensics where people can say this is real, like this is real unaltered footage? There's a way people can do that.
Yeah, there is. Do you think that those professionals are wasting their time with ghost footage, though?
I mean, if somebody said this is a real footage, okay, there was what's his name, this magician that for Randy something.
Randy Couture.
No, he called him the Amazing Randy.
Oh yeah,
he had for decades. It was something like $1 million payout to anybody who could definitively prove any sort of supernatural phenomenon, and nobody ever did.
Mm-hmm.
And people would come, they would do their thing, they would say this is supernatural, and he would debunk it on the spot. So it's just like there's definitely motivation out there to find out if supernatural phenomena are real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand what you're saying, but also like, if someone came to, if I came across a video on YouTube and they were like, the digital forensic person said that this is a legit video, I would still be like, yeah.
You'd be like, as if you don't believe it?
Yeah, because it's hard to, there's so much shit out there that it'd be so easy to fake something like that. I say so easy. So plausible to fake something like that. I did see a video from my friend Brian. He sent me a video from his fiance's place of work where Apple's going crazy. Where someone was sitting at the front desk, and they've had questionable things before, but suddenly like her Rolodex starts spinning, and you can see it happening on video. Like all the cards like spin and fall forward. It's really weird. And then like you see a shadow, and she like turns, and then she like gets up and goes to the back room, and then she like runs out of there because she's like scared of whatever she saw. That's all there is to the video. But I saw that, I'm like, damn, that's fucking cool. But again, like I don't even know.
I'll check that video out. We should also put that video. Maybe that'd be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I gotta find it. He sent me this like years ago. He might not. I hope he still has it. He's on a trip right now, but I'll see if I can get it from him. But yeah, I don't know, man. We should ghost hunt sometime.
I'm down. I'm totally down. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
nothing else.
I'm not the only person that I know that has been to Austin State Hospital, and been to like I went to the dormitories, the abandoned dormitories. It's a not good place. Like it's
creepy.
It's creepy, and it's creepy. It's creepy, and also like you look at the place that like all these people were like probably mistreated in, and you feel that level of terrible about it, and then like also there's like a real creep factor to it.
Yeah,
like dead animals and just like creepy wheelchairs abandoned down dark hallways. It's really scary.
I mean, those places were super creepy.
Yeah, I know a lot of people feel like Austin State Hospital is haunted, but there's a lot of supposedly like the Driscoll in Austin is haunted and all that shit. But
Now, one possible explanation that I probably could buy is that there is the idea that like dimensions are just like tightly laid across each other, like dimension after dimension after dimension. So maybe there's some dimensional bleed happening.
They couldn't find enough room to put all the dimensions, so they laid them all on top of each other.
Shitty coding.
Yeah, totally.
So, I mean, I'm not discounting it as a possibility. I haven't seen anything that would definitively prove it to me. But let's go ghost hunting.
Let's go ghost hunting.
That sounds fun.
Me and Grace have gone a couple times, and it's been fun. Yeah. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to bring up.
Maybe this is changing subjects, and maybe this is for a different one. I went down this bizarre TikTok internet rabbit hole.
Rat TikTok?
TikTok internet rabbit hole.
Okay.
Not rat-based TikTok.
I heard rat TikTok rabbit hole.
I think I want to show you some of these, so maybe we'll do it for next episode because I don't really have a good way to show it to you, unless we can just do it on this. But I didn't queue it all up.
Okay.
But I was aware of this trend on TikTok. Like I knew people did this, but I didn't know to the extent that they're doing this. So much of TikTok is just people mouthing the words or music to some unrelated media
Unrelated.
or just another piece of media.
Like they're not playing the songs, then mouthing the word like they're not what's the word, like lip syncing to a song that
Yeah,
they're
no, they
playing?
are. They're lip syncing to a song or a stand-up routine or am I not explaining it well?
I'm trying to. There's two things that are coming to mind.
Okay.
Number one is there are people that will just lip sync and dance to a song.
Yes. Those people.
Then there are other people that will like pull up a laptop and hit play on a popular piece of media and verbally say it out loud. All the things.
No, they're just lip syncing.
Okay. Like,
Okay. Like I saw this this one okay, so I stumbled across this subreddit called I need to check my notes. Because I keep getting the wrong word chewing.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either, but it's just a subreddit where people post the most egregious offenders of these people who just lip sync
Poorly.
to poorly or exaggeratedly making really weird, stupid faces the whole time they're doing it. And one of these TikTokers led me down this rabbit hole where these people would just take somebody's stand-up comedy routine and then say the funny part, like lip sync the
Yeah.
funny part.
But do it with so there's actually two categories of these lip syncers. There's one that do it as realistically as possible, where and if you're lip syncing an L, like if I were to say L, it would just look like me talking like L. But if I were lip syncing it and trying to make it look more exaggerated, you do like L, and it looks ridiculous. But there are those people that do they're like funny face TikTokers that make
Yes.
and then there's other people that do it more like it's really bizarre.
It is so bizarre, and then I kept looking because I would see these people doing this, and then I was reading the comments because I was like, who? I mean, this is like 100,000 views
Yeah.
for somebody pretending that they're saying a stand-up routine, and all the comments were like, "You're so funny.
Yeah.
You are so funny. This is the best part of my day."
I know.
What do you mean she's so funny? This is not her stand-up routine. What are you
Dude.
talking about? And when it was girls doing it, invariably 90% of the comments I would click and look at this person. Old creepy white guy. Just I need to like walk you through this whole
And
process.
what do you think is so intriguing about engaging about these things?
I don't know.
Is it that the person's attractive that does them?
Maybe.
Or is it just fun to watch?
It's not fun to watch
Yeah.
because it was
Painful.
physically painful to
Yeah.
watch some of these.
Yeah. Yeah. I would send Grace some of those similar ones that I'm like, this hurts me to look at.
Let's do a whole thing next, like
On
set
this
like
subject?
20 minutes aside so I can show you and then we'll put it up on the podcast.
Okay.
So that I'm not the only person experiencing this pain and confusion
Okay.
at the state of the world.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Man, I don't get it. But maybe when other people see it, maybe somebody can explain it to me. Because it's baffling to me.
Well, I don't know if it's still the most viewed video, but when I started on TikTok, when I started looking at TikTok, the most liked video ever was this girl named Bella Porch. And she was just like, it was like a short snippet of a song. And she was doing what you said. Like she was mouthing the words and making funny faces. It was like 10 seconds. And it had
Mhm.
like hundreds of millions of views.
Mhm.
The most viewed thing ever. I think she like gave her a whole career based off of this one video.
Is it just generalized brain rot? Is that what we're seeing?
I think so. It's crazy.
And that makes me feel like such an old man to say that, but I have no other explanation.
No, I get weird videos. Do you ever get the ones where it's a Reddit story on top of someone playing Minecraft and they're just jumping across blocks.
Oh, that's total brain rot.
Or just like there's ones that are like videos of people like doing oddly satisfying things like scraping kinetic sand off, and then another story from like a
Right.
podcast or something side by side.
Right. Yeah.
It's very weird.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't really I don't use TikTok anymore outside of what people send me because the videos that algorithm recommends me are all trash.
Yeah, and I recommend you the top of the top,
Yeah.
the best videos that you could ever watch. I recommend to you.
I don't think my brain is too stupid for an algorithm to latch onto.
Mine too. I get really weird shit on mine. That's why I get those weird things. But I got to sift through a lot of garbage and videos I just don't care about.
Yeah. Because everything I've ever heard from people is like the TikTok algorithm is so good. It'll figure it out so fast. And I use it for like 10 hours, nothing.
Yeah, yeah. TikTok's
All right.
a fun place.
That's all I have. That'll be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Because then I'll get to share in my feelings of insanity.
All right.
All right. That's all I had.
I have some video games to talk about.
Yeah.
Video
let's
games. So first, I want to talk about Final Fantasy 16. It's releasing on the 21st. I think it's next week, next Wednesday. They put out a demo, and I've got to say this is the kind of like gold standard for demos where the base demo is 2 hours long. It's like the first 2 hours of the game, cutscenes and all, and it carries over to the main game. So they just give you
Cool. Yeah.
early access to the game for free. See if you like it. If you like it, great, and you can go ahead and pre-order and keep playing.
Another game did that a while back that we played. I can't remember what it was.
I think I know what you're referring
Monster
to.
Hunter?
I think so. I can't
I think
remember.
it was. I think it was Monster Hunter. But anyway, yeah, I love that. That's
I love
great.
that. That should be every single player game needs to do this.
Yes.
It's the best. Because I wanted the game. Grace pre-ordered it for me, but I wasn't sure. And then I played the demo. I was like, I'm fucking sold.
Yeah.
So, talking about the demo a bit. So, firstly, the tone of the game. Have you played a Final Fantasy before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is a little more, it's taking itself more seriously. It's not quite as goofy, although there are still goofy things about it, like dudes that are proportionately like 6 times the size of other people, and they just kind of go with it. Like, that's fine.
Right.
He can be 6 times the size of another human. At first, I was a little unsure because it's a lot of like kingdom versus other kingdom discussions around a round table about how they're going to figure out this war, and it's a kind of boring. But the acting was really good, and then pretty quickly it gets into the game. One awesome thing I found out that they did during the cutscenes is when you pause the game, you can push the touchpad, and it will bring up something called active time lore. And so if you're watching it, so the first cutscene I paused was these two like people or two armies attacking each other. And it pulls up the location it's set in. It gives you lore about that. It'll give you lore about either side that's in the fight, and it will give you lore about a couple other things. So, like anything you want to know more information about, like who are these people, where are they, what are they doing, what are they fighting over? Like it will show you that.
Okay.
Any cutscene you pause, which is like a
Pretty
brilliant
cool.
addition.
Yeah, that's very, very cool.
Because I'd much rather like do it as I'm going than try to go back and read 1,000 lore entries back to back.
For sure.
Which you can still do, but I thought that was a pretty clever addition. The game structure is not open world, and the last one was like kind of had like the first chunk of it was open world, like the bulk of the game, and then it ended in a more linear. Like at some point, it goes, "Hey, once you go into this mission, you're done with the open world." This one is more is like you have an overworld map, and then you can select places that you go to, and it's like designed. Not that the open world wasn't designed, but it's more linear type levels with exploration within. They said it's like not open world, but there are open areas to explore. In the demo, there are more just pretty linear little levels where you could maybe go on a side path and find something to loot. But so combat it's kind of like it's a hack and slash. It's not the most interesting combat, but you have melee attacks. You have these things called icons, which are, I don't know how to explain it, but like you can have multiple icons equipped, and they all represent like a different element, like fire, wind, stone, and so you have powers that are tied to the elements that those are tied to. So like with the fire one, you have a dash that you can like dash into enemies and then do like a melee attack or do a fireball attack. And then there are different equipable abilities from those icons. And it's fun. It's fun. It's like, it's not the most in-depth combat system. I feel like a lot of it is like, timing your dodges so you get a little bit of time slow down.
Does it look like it will get more in depth as the game goes on, or is it just pretty?
So my concern was that like in the demo you get access to very little because you're starting the game. After you beat the demo, there's another segment of the game where they put you in a little bit later in the game with 3 different icons that you can swap between, and so you have like 6 abilities. They give you some ability points so you can sort of customize how you want, and it's pretty in depth.
Okay.
I would say so far I haven't found myself to be the most fluid with it because there's just like, you're bouncing. It's kind of like stance dancing. Like you're pushing the left trigger to switch between the elements, and then you're pulling the right trigger and pushing square or triangle to use the abilities of those icons. And like, so I found a lot of it was like me dancing between stances and burning my icons till they're on a cooldown.
Okay.
So it's a little bit clunky at first.
Yeah.
However, they also did a weird thing where they give you all these items that you can use or not use. And one of them is like automatically execute combos by just holding square, automatically dodge, automatically slow down time if someone's going to attack you to give you a window to dodge manually, and things like that. So like they give you options to simplify the combat a bit because there is a lot going on. And one of the ones I kept on during the later demo was you have a dog that you have to give him commands. And there's one thing I hate in games. It's like telling my party member what to go do while I'm actively fighting other things. And this, you put on a ring and it just does it automatically, which is
cool.
Perfect. But yeah, so I found it to be like interesting, not the most, it's definitely epic looking, like the effects and the fluidity of it can be great, but it's not the most exciting, but it's serviceable for sure.
And when does that come out?
Next Wednesday. Okay. The one thing I didn't like is I don't know why Japanese games are allergic to gear, but like this is a fantasy RPG, and there are 3 slots of like you have a sword, you have a bracers, and you have a belt, and none of those reflect what your character looks like when you get them. I don't know why these games do this.
That's a big thing for you.
It's such a big thing for me.
In fact, it's one of the biggest things.
Yeah,
for you.
I've complained. You've heard me bitch about games doing shit like this.
Right.
Aesthetics are the thing I care about almost more than anything else.
But it's understandable. You get a cool sword, you want to see the cool sword, use the cool sword.
It feels weird to equip a different sword, has a different icon, and then look at your character and none of that changes.
Mm-hmm.
Or equip a different brace. Like, give me you have armor in the game. At some point, I'm going to be able to change my outfits. In the demo, it didn't show you how, but it's weird not to have those things. And then, of course, the gear itself, not having that many slots means you don't have that many interesting stats to worry about in the loot. So that the loot, it's not really a loot game. It's just you get gear upgrades here and there.
Right.
But the upgrades so far, at least, are not interesting. They're like +7 attack. It's awesome. This basic number, it's like 1 stat.
I don't even understand if you're going to go that basic, why even have that?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, at least maybe later in the game, it will add a lot, but really, as it stands, does not add very much at all.
Right.
Then the last thing, they end the prologue demo, I don't know what they're calling it, but the first 2 hours demo, they end with something called an icon battle, and it's basically like giant monster fight. So you are playing a phoenix, you're playing a phoenix, and you're fighting against something that I think is Ifrit, but they don't name it. They just say fire. They call it a real dominant. They had a weird name for it. Like it's like a.
Oh, so you are a giant monster fighting.
You are a giant monster fighting a giant monster. So presentation wise, like extremely epic. The monster fight was, it kind of looked like you were in the Mines of Moria flying around, at high speed, shooting fireballs at this other dude, and he was throwing like, world-size fucking fireballs at you. It was very epic. So if you're into single-player games, like it feels like a good one. I don't know if I'm going to play it immediately next week because I want to give it the attention it deserves, and I think I still might be on the Diablo train.
Okay,
but,
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, there was between that and the monster battle, and then there was another battle where you fight. Do you know what a dragoon is from Final Fantasy?
Oh, the class, right?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
they jump in the air. They
Yeah.
have like really cool spears. They jump super high. There was one of those that you fought, and the whole time I'm like, I just wish I could play that. Because in 14 I played a dragoon, and it's so much fun. Even though that game's combat system kind of sucks,
Yeah.
dragoons are the coolest.
Right.
Like they jump so high you can't see them anymore. You never know when they're going to come down. You can't look up. They're so high. I think dragoons are dope, and you fight one, and that was a really fun fight. So that, like, between that and the monster fight, I was like, okay, I think I'm pretty well sold.
That was the class I tried to play in my brief stint in 14, but then I just couldn't. I was like, this game's boring. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not boring, but for me, it's boring.
It's funny because like I played a couple other classes in 14, and I thought that the dragoon was kind of slow because you have like, you know, with the dragoon you would have abilities that were on your global cooldown, which is 1.5 seconds, and then you would have ones that were off. And so what I would do is I would, like, you know, interlace them. So it would be like on global cooldown off, on global cooldown off, so that you kind of would have an attack every 3/4 of a second.
Right.
And then I played other classes, and like they have like no off cooldown abilities. So it's like so slow.
It's really slow.
But I did, you know, I played a lot of that game. I liked aspects of it, but yeah, the overall combat for it was just not very fun. But this one looks good, plays good.
Cool.
I'm really appreciative that they put out this kind of demo. It's, you know,
Yeah, I agree with you though. That should be most games.
Yeah.
That's great.
I played another demo for The Lies of P, which I think is a Pinocchio game. I know I said last time I wasn't sure, but it is. I'm pretty sure the P stands for Pinocchio. That game was okay. People were like really hot on it because they were like, dude, it's a fucking steampunk Souls-like. Reminds me of Bloodborne. And it is just a little bit on the side of janky for me and a little bit basic in terms of visuals that I don't know if I'm totally sold.
Steampunk is.
I really don't like steampunk.
I don't like
either.
steampunk either. I think it's pretty boring visually. I mean, there's only so much you can do with steampunk.
Yeah, you got gears, and you got steam.
Right. It's all gonna be some
Lots of brass.
some like
Lots of
brass
copper.
colored everything, and that's it. You've done steampunk.
Yeah. You know, the one iteration of steampunk I really, really liked was what the fuck was that? I'm gonna forget it. Drill Quest, SteamWorld Dig. SteamWorld Dig.
Can you remind me what that was? I think I remember what it was. But
It's from a company that makes all these games set in the SteamWorld universe. One of them is SteamWorld Quest, one of them is SteamWorld Heist. It's a 2D game where you're digging down, and it's
okay. I'm thinking of something different.
kind of. I don't want to say Terraria-esque, but it is kind of that. You're digging blocks out, but they're more on a bigger scale. Anyways, really good. Sort of like a Metroidvania almost.
Okay.
But I did like that game, and it was steampunk. But yeah, those are 2 games I played, and of course more Diablo.
Yeah.
You've been
How are
playing?
you?
Have you been? You've been off. I haven't seen you on.
I haven't played since Sunday.
Man, I'm kind of bummed about that.
I have started to play multiple nights, and then I'm like, I just don't want to. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say that I'm at the point now where, so I did all of the renown grind, which I think they're still going to. They have a stream tomorrow where they're going to discuss seasons and maybe the feedback that they've gotten and maybe changing their mind. I don't know.
That'll determine if I play that game again in the future.
Yeah, if they really like that rep grind, it was so not fun. There's nothing good about it.
Mm-mm.
Awful. And like now that I'm doing the nightmare dungeons, I'm seeing more uniques drop, that's the exciting part of the game. But at the same time, I'm getting to the point where my character is mostly geared out, and all I'm waiting for is the uniques that I need, and that's not fun. And also, like, I can only go to a certain tier of dungeon before it's too hard, and I'm not having any fun.
Yeah, the uniques in Diablo they almost feel too build enabling, because I mean there are uniques like that in Path of Exile, but you can, and in other ARPGs, but you can play some semblance of a build without them.
Mhm.
That is close to that build, and the unique really enables the full power of that build.
Right.
There aren't that many uniques in Path outside of the ones that give you unique skills that you cannot play without the uniques.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of the uniques in Diablo are like, oh, now you get to have fun with this build you wanted to play.
Yeah, I've gotten like I've gotten some that are like build enabling, and then some that are just an upgrade to what you're doing already. I do like the ones that are an upgrade to what you're doing already because they're a little more slot-inable. But yeah, there's one like I would love to make a Thorns build, but you need to get Razor Plate to really make a good Thorns build.
Yeah.
And until I get that, and also like I got a unique that was a really good unique, and I've been playing 150 hours or something like that, and never saw it before, and I finally got it. It was the bottom rolls on everything, like the worst rolls you can get. Like, well, I'm not going to use this.
And there's no way to reroll stuff.
There's nowhere, and it was trash.
Yeah.
It was bad. Like I tried using it, I was doing like half my DPS. It was one that made it so I could consume 4 corpses at once, which is great because then you get higher mana regen, and in addition, your corpse explosion does X amount more damage, and bigger radius. But so
yeah,
it was a bit of a bummer,
man. Also, the druid loot table is apparently bugged, and druids have an equal chance of getting barbarian uniques.
That's why I was seeing that on the subreddit, because people were playing and being like, "Well, I got this barbarian unique. I guess I should roll barbarian."
Yeah, which if there was an equal chance for all classes to get all uniques, I'm okay with that. But the fact that it's just a bug, it is only going to get in the way of me finding a unique that I really want on my druid.
And you have not gotten that unique?
No.
Man.
But I only really just got into tier 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you decide you want to keep playing, I would love to run some of those dungeons, because those are the only fun thing, like doing the nightmare version, and they're not even that. That's all there is, like that and Helltides. I can rarely ever get a fucking world boss. I finally got one. It gave me the rewards cache. It's like, yeah, open this when you're level 80. Like, that's not supposed to be that way.
Also, I saw people on the subreddit calling them hell trickles. I really like that.
Yeah, it is better when you're doing it with multiple people.
For sure.
I had a friend right when I was finishing up my dungeon grind being like, hey, join my party, just run your dungeon and we all get credit for them. And I was like, oh, I would have loved to do this with like just, 4 other people in different zones all doing the dungeon simultaneously. But
that would have been cool.
Yeah, didn't do that. Fucking goddamn it. They're probably going to nerf that too. Right. I can't imagine they wouldn't nerf that.
They're nerfing mob density and all the popular
They
dungeons,
did. They already did nerf it.
which is cool.
Like, I don't know, man. I just want
It's
to have fun.
very Blizzard design.
Yeah, I feel like they're going down this path of like removing the fun from the game, the very little that is left.
Right.
And then in a year, they're going to be like, look at all this cool shit we added. There's all the stuff you wanted. Like, why did we need to go through that phase?
Right. But they go through that phase with WoW all the time. It's MMO design, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
This is kind of is an MMO, but it's not an MMO.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting to the point where I like don't know how much more. If I'm not like, if I didn't see you log on at all this week, I didn't see Adam really log on, and I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to play anymore. Like I want to, but I got no friends.
Yeah.
And it's kind of not fun alone.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if I've abandoned you. I just every time I went to launch the game, I was just like, I do not feel like doing this right now. I would rather do anything else.
Totally. The past 2 days, I've like played a couple dungeons and just been like, it's kind of boring.
Right. I knew I was in trouble Sunday when I was playing and I kept looking at trailers for new games.
Oh no.
I was like, wow, yeah, I'm not having fun in this game anymore. I'm already looking for something else to play.
Man.
I think I sent you that one Satisfactory copy.
You did.
Over Discord.
I'm really waiting for Satisfactory to get out of early access. I thought about that game recently too. I fucking love that game.
Be there for a long time. That game I think kind of looks fun though.
Yeah, aesthetically not the most pleasing for me, but I'll maybe give it a shot.
Underground's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's another one called Volcanoids. I don't know if it's multiplayer though.
I think I saw that. I don't think that one is.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. All right. What other games do you want to talk about?
Xbox Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Capcom Showcase, but nothing that I really cared about was talked about. They talked about Dragon's Dogma. They went through the whole rigmarole of adding a Steam page and store entries for Dragon's Dogma 2. And it was the last game talked about at their showcase. And I was like, dude, we're going to get a fucking release date. They were like, first, let's show you the trailer we already showed you. Literally, they were like, let's show you the trailer we already showed you. they showed us the trailer. And then they're like, all right. And we just want to tell you about the design of the game. And they're like, it's going to use the pawn system, just like the last game. Okay. Like, and it's going to be bigger than the last game. Okay. Like, we hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Motherfuckers.
Oh my God, dude.
And like, dude, me and Brian got on a Discord call and we were watching it together because we were like, release date. And no, nothing. So that was a bummer. But the Xbox showcase showed a lot. Did you watch any of it?
I watched a little bit of it, yeah.
Okay. So the big ones, I don't even know how I missed writing. Start off with the big one for me, even though they didn't show enough of it. Fable.
Yeah, that was okay. So I saw the trailer. I was like, cool. Cool, pre-rendered trailer.
Pre-rendered. They were like in game.
But
before the show, they're like every single thing at this showcase is going to have in-game or in-engine or gameplay footage.
Yeah, well, I think some of that actually was gameplay footage.
Yeah, I think there was like a couple shots of like over the shoulder.
And the fact that I couldn't tell was kind of amazing.
It is amazing. I feel almost as let down by that trailer. As
Oh yeah, the trailer
Dragon's
told me
Dogma.
nothing. I mean, it was a funny trailer,
Yeah,
and I feel like I liked it because I felt like it set like a good tone for the game, which is one of the things that I've always been really charmed by Fable, like kind of a goofy, tongue-in-cheek fantasy.
goofy British
Yeah,
ass game. Getting called Chicken Chaser, kicking chickens. The original game had like, see how far you can kick the chicken. That was really fun.
right. So I don't know. I liked it. I liked that it set that tone because it made me hopeful that the game was going to be pretty humorous.
I guess that I wasn't expecting anything different tonally. I certainly wasn't expecting like a celebrity to be the
No.
Do you know that guy? He's from IT Crowd.
Mhm.
What's his name?
I don't
Richard
remember.
Ayoade or something like that.
I don't remember, but I know
Yeah.
I've seen him around.
I'm not familiar with his body of work, so I don't have a good or bad thing to say about him. But he seems funny.
He's a funny dude.
Yeah. But I really wanted a release date from that. Pretty bummed.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of release dates.
Dude, the whole Xbox showcase is like, almost all of it is like, I'll see you next year,
Right.
which is crazy talk. But Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty is not one of those. That's what, August, September?
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't finish the original Cyberpunk because I did not like it.
Okay. You weren't physically prevented from finishing it. You just didn't.
No, yeah, I was just like, at some point I was like, this game is not fun.
I played all of that game.
I know.
Did every side quest except for one that was bugged, and I even came back multiple patches later when they said they fixed that one, still bugged. So I did everything in that game, got all the endings, did all of the side quests,
Wow.
all of the side content.
So how do you feel that I said it's not fun?
Oh, I didn't think it was fun for a lot of it,
Okay.
but there was fun to be had.
Yeah, there was fun to be had. The game
Chopping dudes up with mantis arms was very fun.
Yeah, I mean, visually it was amazing. Driving around, I really enjoyed. It was just that I would drive around and I'd go to these spots and I'd be like, "Oh, this city is just dead.
Yeah.
This is lifeless and nothing." And they filled it with so much crap that it almost made it feel more dead to me.
Yeah, it's a city that if you were driving by it and looking at it, it would look so lively. But the moment you would step out of the car and try to be a part of it, it immediately falls apart. It's
Right.
like, this is the Disneyland facade.
Right. Which, is a far cry from what their marketing was for the game.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, I certainly think places like Novigrad in The Witcher felt more alive.
Yeah. There were so many people to interact with. Even you would just stumble across these random side quests that
Yeah.
you had no idea there was even something there until you walked in there.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think
that made it feel like a very engaging place to be.
Yeah, I think that Cyberpunk is so dense with people, you couldn't do it. Couldn't do it in the same way.
Yeah.
Short of using like something like AI tech to make emergent experiences possible.
Right.
But I think we're a little bit away from that still.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you think of the trailer?
I thought it was exciting. I mean, I didn't really enjoy the character building. I thought all of the RPG elements were pretty boring.
Oh, yeah.
It just the
So they're reworking They didn't talk about, or you're going to bring this up.
Well, so that's what I read about this. They didn't talk about it really in the presentation.
Yeah.
But it's a complete overhaul of the game,
Yeah.
which that's really exciting.
That should have been the front and center for the trailer.
Yeah, I don't even understand how they decided not to bring that up as much as they did.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Slayer. Hello.
You need medicine, buddy. Is it medicine time? Soon enough. Don't step on the keyboard, though. Yeah. So they're reworking the AI in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They're reworking the perk system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what else they're reworking.
They were adding another tech tree, but I am now blanking on what they were calling it.
Like a new class?
I don't think a new class. I think they're just adding another. They're adding another tech tree to your and reworking all the current tech trees, and they are. The emphasis now is not on gear; it's on mods, which that's how it always should have been.
Yeah.
Like, that should have been the core of the game because it's fucking cyberpunk, and that's what's at the core of the story in the universe.
Yeah, I remember mods being. I'm having trouble recalling, but I remember mods being pretty disappointing.
Yes, and now they're supposed to be. I mean, that's supposed to be the main emphasis, and you have to limit how much you have, or else you'll go insane. And I don't think you'll become a cyber psycho. And
I would love a cyber psycho system.
Right, and that's what's in the game now. Or okay, now that's what they are saying is in the game.
Yeah,
it's CD Projekt Red, so
they no longer have our trust.
No.
Yeah, I mean, did you watch Edge Runners?
Yes.
That show,
it was cool.
Was fucking awesome. I fucking love that show.
Yeah, I want more cyberpunk stuff.
Dude.
I love cyberpunk.
I mean, they did that show.
Like as a genre.
Like they wrote it, and I think they might have even like made it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. Do you know if they're doing the thing where you can, physically mod your body and have cool shit? Because that was another big problem where...
Presumably, this is what they've said, is that the mods that you get on yourself will be visibly reflected on your character.
Okay.
So you will see the mods.
All right.
Unless this is all another big gotcha from Cyberpunk.
I mean, I wonder how far they'll go. I know, for me, I wanted to be one of the big dudes. I didn't want to be an average sized person. I wanted to be, a fucking hulking monstrosity.
Uh-huh.
It didn't need to have the power scaling of like an Adam. What's his name?
I don't remember.
I was going to say Adam Warlock, but that's not quite right. Adam Smasher.
Let's go with Smasher.
It is Adam Smasher. Yeah, but I wanted to be big.
Yeah.
We have big dudes in that game. I want to be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do that. But it looks good. I like Idris Elba. He's fun. I like saying his name like that. And they brought Keanu Reeves back on stage. He sounded something. I think something might have happened to him.
Really?
He sounded really strange.
I must have missed the Keanu Reeves part. Most of what I know from this is from what I read afterwards.
That's fine. Yeah, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Sounded a little like maybe he just had like a retainer in or something because he sounded a little bit like I don't know. He had marbles in his mouth.
I do sound stupid when I have my Invisalign on.
Yeah, could have been that.
So
maybe he just didn't care to take it off before he got on stage. What if he's just on stage? He goes, "Hold on." They announced. I don't really care about some of these, but I'll read them off anyway in case you do. I know you don't because I know who you are.
Some of them I might.
Forza Motorsport. Do you care about
No.
Okay. I never played Payday 2, but Payday 3. I think they've already talked about this.
I did like Payday 2.
Yeah.
I played a decent amount of it.
I wanted to get into it. It was one I missed, but that's a cool, that's a game I would like to play co-op.
Yeah, I was playing with a few friends, and we got really obsessed with trying to do missions completely, like stealthily and tactically, until we finally completed one and realized there's almost no extra reward for doing it.
But I hope they change that. I like the idea of all those tactic systems being put into place. It's fun.
It was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
But it was like you got like 5% extra money if you did it stealthily. It's just like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, what a waste. Persona 3 Reload. They announced a new Microsoft Flight Simulator. A new one. Isn't that fucking weird?
Why?
Because they just came out with the old one. and it looked like real life. What? I thought that was I thought it was a platform they were just going to
Well,
use.
did they give a release date? I mean, maybe it's just.
It's 2024.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they want Microsoft Flight Sim to be like FIFA, and they just release a new one every year.
Yeah. Charge for new planes. They also had like a Dune. I don't know if the Dune was for the old Microsoft Flight Sim or the new one, but a Dune partnership with Microsoft Flight Sim, which is I love it. I love it.
Such a weird crossover.
I love it. It's so bizarre. They had another one. Didn't they have a Halo one? Yeah, they had a Halo one. This was Halo one was older, but they had one where you could fly a Warthog. Avowed, which is a disappointment to me.
Why?
It just didn't look very good. I think the initial reveal trailer or like teaser trailer looked interesting and dark and cool, and the one they showed at the showcase did not.
I think I missed this one.
It looks kind of just colorful, generic Skyrim. Not Skyrim, because it's way more colorful than Skyrim, but I don't know, man. It just didn't. It didn't look that great. I did end up going back and watching that Witchfire thing you told me to watch. That shit was fucking cool,
dude. Does that not look so fucking cool?
Yeah, I think I had only seen older stuff about it, and I saw that, and I was like, damn.
That is like, I'm so excited for that game.
I did not know it was a roguelike. I'm like 10 times more excited now. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big one that they showed off at this, there's also a Ubisoft one. So there's two things at the Ubisoft one, and this came up here before it went to the Ubisoft one, but they announced Star Wars Outlaws.
I did see that, yep.
Which looks like a Star Wars Far Cry game, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But they go into space, so maybe there's more to it. I don't think it's going to be like No Man's Sky. Like I think it's cutscenes and they go into space. But they showed a 10-minute gameplay demo of it at the Ubisoft event, and it looked fun. And it's based on bounty hunters, I think, and it's kind of like side story stuff. And
yeah, it could be cool.
It looks visually nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like Ubisoft has not been putting out fucking games lately.
Mm-mm.
So
I have a really hard time getting into open world games.
I know,
and I wish I didn't, but
yeah, I get what you're saying. Those are kind of Ubisoft games is like Far Cry is kind of the template for boring ass fucking checklist open world games. So if one was going to sway you, it probably wouldn't be that.
Right.
But if you like the IP, and if you don't like the Star Wars IP, they also showed off gameplay and a release date for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which is Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which is going to be a Far Cry Avatar game, basically.
Cool.
Which looks, I'm such a sucker for Avatar, dude.
Yeah,
it looks great.
Yeah, we talked. I mean, I thought Avatar was fine until I saw the new movie,
and it was even better.
And it was one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I liked it.
I hate it.
It's fun. But I'm really excited for that game, just because I am obsessed with Pandora. I think visually,
it's amazing.
You know, I just want to explore it. I have the old game installed on my computer right now because I love that game so much.
Yeah, I want to like it more than I do. Just the whole IP in general.
Yeah. They announced Sea of Thieves, Monkey Island crossover.
When's the last time you played Sea of Thieves?
Like long fucking time.
I played it launch. I've heard they've made a lot of updates.
Yeah, but you know what they didn't do is add any sort of progression.
Oh, still?
Yeah, because that's kind of like their selling point. I think it's core design philosophy where like I can jump in and be at the same level as anyone else who's been playing it, which is a good thing in some ways. And then for people that want any sort of progression, not a good thing.
Yeah, no. There's no that was what kept like that was what I stopped playing it for, because I was like, oh cool, I don't upgrade anything ever for any reason.
Like, and I'm someone who likes cosmetics, but I need more. I need them to carry some weight.
Right.
Like when I would buy skins in games, like I bought like 1 or 2 skins on Path of Exile. I put them on. I'm like, I hate them now because it's nothing. It doesn't do anything. I just paid money for it. It's not good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And then they talked about Overwatch 2. They showed off a PvE mode, which they're going to charge for now.
Yeah, I mean, we knew Overwatch 2 was dead and not worth it when Jeff Kaplan left.
What is Blizzard doing?
Because he was trying to resurrect Titan.
Yeah.
And that's what he wanted to turn Overwatch to, which would have been cool. If they turned Overwatch into a looter shooter, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. But they, I don't know. I don't know what Blizzard's doing.
It's disappointing.
Yeah,
And
but they just, one of their fastest, biggest games
I was just
of all
going to
time.
say, yeah.
So
Everyone,
it's not like they're learning lessons from
I was
this.
at the grocery store and I heard some mom talking to her kid about playing Diablo. I'm like, okay, everyone's fucking playing Diablo.
Yeah.
Everyone, and literally their mother.
Yeah.
Um,
And the subreddit is filled with people just
they're like, dude, how big is Diablo's cock? I can fit it in my mouth.
like they want nothing more than to make Blizzard feel like the best company in the world for this shit game.
Dude, some of those posts are like absolutely ridiculous.
Yes. I don't even know how to, I just can't believe this is real life.
All right, last thing, Starfield. Did you watch any of that?
No.
Okay.
But I want to. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I like I like Bethesda games. I like Far Cry. I'm sorry, I like Fallout. I like Skyrim. I've been playing Bethesda games since Morrowind. So Morrowind, Oblivion, Far Cry 3, or Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. I like those games.
Mm-hmm.
This game looks like it has a whole fucking lot to it. They talked about how, all their planets are like everything's placed procedurally around them. Mm-hmm. So when you go to planet A, you will have a different experience than when I go there, even though it has similar, all the same stuff, just it's organized differently. So that's cool. You can build ships in whatever way you want, sort of like sticking Lego pieces together. Like they showed like flying mech monsters. That looks insane. I'm trying not to get too excited about it because I think I'm going to play it regardless. But the biggest thing that came out from this is it's going to be on fucking Game Pass.
Cool. I mean, that instantly makes it a game I'll check out no matter what.
Yeah, dude.
Because fucking Game Pass is awesome.
Yeah, the thing they did announce was it was only going to be 30 frames per second on Xbox.
Oh, you know what? I did see that. Now, is that it's going to be higher for PC?
Yeah. But what's his name? Todd Howard said something a little silly. He was like, we want to preserve the cinematic nature of the game. That's why we made it 30 FPS, right? Not because performance limitations.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I guess if you want to keep the graphical fidelity, but that seems like a bad compromise for graphical fidelity.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely check it out. Maybe we can talk more about it next time.
Okay.
Because I love sci-fi games. I just didn't get a chance to watch it.
Yeah. Did you ever play No Man's Sky?
I did. It really wasn't for me. But
when did you play it? Like at launch or way after?
Way after.
Okay.
For me, it's
you don't like open world games. Why would you like open universe games, kind of thing?
A little bit. It felt a little too aimless for me.
It is,
and which I get. That's a positive for people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to be doing, even though that's the point of the game.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, short episode this week, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Next week's a little weird for me, but we'll figure a time out.
Okay. Cool.
But see you then.
Goodbye.